Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are tackling a big one, the modern pregnancy journey. It's something that can feel incredibly overwhelming, but together we're going to break it down and make it all feel a lot more manageable.
If you're expecting, you know exactly what this feels like. The second you share the news, boom, you're hit with this tidal wave of advice, warnings, and so-called wisdom from everyone. It can feel less like a miracle and more like you're trying to navigate a minefield.
And these are the questions that really hit home, right? These come directly from parents-to-be, and they show this deep, universal desire to do everything possible for your future child, even when you're just swimming in a sea of unknowns.
Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to map out a path from that feeling of total uncertainty to a place of genuine empowerment, and we're going to do it with some amazing insights from veteran OBGYN, Dr. Lei-Chiu Hai. Let's jump in.
All right, first things first. Let's just acknowledge that all those worries and questions swirling around in your head, they're not just valid. They are the absolute heart of this journey. Every single pregnancy comes with its own unique set of concerns.
You know, Dr. Hai talks about what he hears in his own forums. Parents who are worried about a high-risk pregnancy after years and years of trying with IVF. Or maybe they're wondering how a chronic thyroid condition is going to play out. These aren't just abstract fears. They're very specific, very real-life challenges.
So, when you're facing these really personal hurdles, how in the world do you cut through all that noise and find some clarity? Well, it all starts with a pretty simple but incredibly powerful shift in your mindset. Dr. Hai has this concept he calls becoming an informed parent, or as he says, Bame Tong Tai. It's all about making a choice to move from being a passive recipient of information to becoming an active, educated partner in your own healthcare. And this slide, man, this is where the rubber meets the road. On one side, you've got all the hearsay. You know, the "my friend's cousin said" stories and the random advice from online forums. But on the other side, you have cold, hard evidence, your test results, your doctor's personalized advice, and guidelines from major health organizations. Being an informed parent means drawing a hard line in the sand and consciously choosing evidence every single time.
And that's the real payoff, isn't it? The point isn't to become a doctor overnight. It's about building this deep-seated confidence that the choices you're making are based on solid ground, and they're tailored specifically to you and your baby.
Okay, so that's the mindset. But what does this actually look like in the real world? Because let's be honest, in medicine, and especially in pregnancy, there is absolutely no one-size-fits-all formula.
As Dr. Hyde points out, a good doctor learns way more from just asking about your life, your family, your history, than they can from any single lab test. Your plan should feel like a conversation, not just a prescription. It's about truly personalized care.
So, let's take the case of what's often called a precious pregnancy. Maybe one that comes after a really long struggle. The plan here isn't just about the standard checkups. It's about constant, careful monitoring, really understanding past challenges, and creating a birth plan that's flexible, always putting safety first.
Or think about a mother who has a chronic thyroid condition. Being an informed parent in this case means understanding a crucial fact. Continuing her medication isn't the risk. The real danger comes from the untreated illness itself. Her plan is going to involve a whole team of specialists, all working together for her health and the baby's.
And this is where being proactive becomes so important. Because sometimes the biggest threats aren't the ones you're actively worrying about. They're the ones that seem totally harmless.
Dr. Hai shares this story that's a really powerful wake-up call about these hidden dangers. Just imagine an expectant mother. She catches what feels like a simple virus, a mild fever, a little rash in her first trimester. She thinks nothing of it.
But this is where that hidden danger becomes absolutely terrifying. While the mom barely feels sick, that rubella virus can cross the placenta and cause devastating, lifelong problems for her developing baby. We're talking about things like blindness, deafness, and serious heart defects, and a lot of this isn't even visible on an ultrasound. It's a sobering reminder of why prevention, like vaccinations, is a huge part of being an informed parent. Now, let's be really clear about something. This whole journey, it is rarely a solo mission. The partner's role isn't just to be supportive, it's absolutely critical to the whole process.
Dr. Hai really drives this point home. A partner's role is all about active participation. It means being in the room for appointments, asking questions, learning right alongside the mother, and really acting as a guardian for the whole new family's well-being. It is a shared responsibility, through and through.
Because when both parents are informed, when they're both engaged, you create this incredibly stable, healthy environment. And that protects not just the pregnancy itself, but the long-term emotional and physical health of everyone involved.
So after all the questions, all the research, and all the teamwork, what are we actually working towards? What does success really truly look like in the end?
It is just beautifully simple. At the end of the day, every single decision, every test, every conversation, it's all guided by this one fundamental principle. This is the North Star for the entire journey.
So look, this path from anxiety to empowerment isn't just a nice idea, it's a totally actionable plan. You start by vetting your sources, choosing evidence over anecdotes. You get to know your personal risks by talking openly with your doctor. You treat your medical team like true partners, and you make sure your partner is right there with you every step of the way. By embracing this informed parent mindset, you're not a passenger anymore. You're the pilot. You've got the tools you need to navigate this incredible journey with confidence and to make sure you and your baby have the safest, healthiest trip possible.